I stood just inside the doorway of that hospital room, hands still shaking, jaw clenched so hard I thought something might snap. There she was, Brittany, my wife of 6 long years, resting in that bed like she was some glowing saint, not the woman who had just given birth to another man's child. Her hair was styled perfectly, skin radiant like she had walked off a magazine cover instead of just delivering a baby. But it was her smile that broke me. That smug little grin like she was proud of what she'd done. Then she said it. "Can you take me to see Travis? I want to show him the baby he made." The baby he made. Not we. Not ours. His. I didn't speak right away. Just walked in slow. Calm, too calm. The nurse gave me that warm congratulations, dad kind of look, and all I wanted to do was laugh. Or scream. Or maybe just throw a chair. Instead, I reached for the birth certificate sitting on a tray by the bed. I picked it up, looked her dead in the eyes, and tore it in half. Then again. And again. The pieces floated to the floor like dead leaves. Her dad jumped out of his chair in the corner, shouting, "Are you crazy?" I didn't even blink. I just looked at her and said, "Not my kid. Not my problem." Then I grabbed the hospital deposit paperwork, ripped it right down the middle, and slid the check back into my jacket pocket. The room froze. Brittany blinked like her brain just rebooted. The smile disappeared. "What are you doing? Look," she whispered. I walked closer. Her dad tried to stop me, grabbed my arm. I yanked it away, leaned in close, just enough so only she could hear me. "You slept with that Jim meathead?" I said low. "Now you want me to play dad to his kid?" Her face went pale, then flushed, then blotchy with shame. And right there, in front of her father, the nurse, and God, she started to cry. I felt nothing. No sympathy. No sadness. Just cold, clear understanding. But maybe I should take a step back. You want to know how we got here? How I ended up watching the woman I married hold another man's baby while asking me to play chauffeur. It started 8 months back. That's when she began getting home late. Real late. Midnight. 1. Sometimes even 2 in the morning. Always had some excuse. Book club ran long. Her friend had a breakdown. The girls went out for mocktails. I was busting my tail working overtime, trying to save for a house for a life. I figured she just needed to breathe a little. I gave her space. Gave her trust. And she ran with it. Next came the perfume, the citrus vanilla kind she knew I hated. New makeup. New underwear I'd never seen. She started guarding her phone like it was a secret mission. Screen always face down, silent mode on. Once, I came into the kitchen and she jumped like she'd seen a ghost, stuffed the phone in her pocket like a teenager hiding texts from their parents. Still, I didn't say anything. Until that night. I came home early from work, boss canceled a meeting. Walked through the door at about 7:30. The lights were dim. The house was quiet. Too quiet. Then I heard her voice. Soft. Breathless. Laughing like she used to back when we first met. I followed the sound to the nursery. That's right, the damn baby room. She was sitting in the rocker, phone to her ear. "Do you think she'll have your dimples?" she said. Your dimples. That was the moment something inside me snapped. But I didn't confront her then. I turned around, walked right back to my truck, and just sat there for over an hour, hands bleeding from gripping the wheel so hard. When I finally went back inside, I played it cool, pretended I'd just come home from work. She greeted me with that same smile, those same lips that had just whispered someone else's name. I should have left, but I didn't. I waited. Waited for the baby to come. Waited to see if she'd confess. She never did. Not until that hospital room when she asked me to take her and his baby to see Travis. Like I was a rideshare driver. When I said no, her dad came charging at me. I shoved him back with one hand, never breaking eye contact with Brittany. "You wanted the crown," I said. "You can keep it, but not as my queen." The nurse called security. Brittany sobbed, clutching the baby like a shield. I walked out of that hospital without looking back. But that wasn't the end. I didn't go home. Couldn't. Drove for hours with no destination. Ended up at a rundown motel on the highway. Tried to sleep. Couldn't. Her voice kept echoing in my mind. "Do you think she'll have your dimples?" By morning, the sadness was gone. Anger had set in. I needed answers. So I went back home. Her hospital stay bought me time. I went straight to her closet. Found the locked drawer. Ripped it open with a crowbar. Inside? A notebook and a flash drive. The notebook was full of hearts, initials, and dates. Lies, written down like love letters. Amazing session at the studio. So intense. Beach trip with him. Told Luke I was at mom's. On and on. Years of this. The flash drive? Video files. One folder called Leg Day Fire. I clicked it. There she was, in the leggings I gave her for Christmas. Bent over, giggling with Travis, our personal trainer. The guy I used to fist bump after workouts while he was screwing my wife. It cut off before anything graphic. But it didn't need to go further. The way she touched him, kissed him, laughed like nobody was watching. I shut the laptop, and that was it. I packed a bag, took only what I needed, left everything else. The house, the photos, the lies. She could keep it all, but I did not leave town. No, I stayed close. Because this was not over. That same day, I met with a lawyer, showed him everything. The birth certificate, the notebook, the video. He looked me in the eye and said, "You're not raising that kid. You'll keep everything. She gets nothing." Good. For the first time in months, I felt in control. But peace? I was not interested in peace. Because the truth was still unfinished. And Brittany? She was about to choke on it. Her name was Claire. Turns out, Travis, the guy who got my wife pregnant, had a wife, too. She messaged me again before I even had a chance to respond to the first one. I saw the footage. Thanks for sending it. All those late nights he said he was training clients? Yeah, now I know. I just stared at the screen for a while. It felt strange talking to someone who'd been sucker punched by the same two people. Like finding out your nightmare had been running on someone else's projector, too. Eventually, I typed back, "He got my wife pregnant." I found out the day she gave birth. Her reply came quick. "He told me it ended months ago, that they stopped seeing each other." Guess that was a lie, too. I had no idea what to expect from her. Anger? Silence? Bitterness? Instead, she sent, "Can I call you?" I hesitated, then said, "Give me 10 minutes." I grabbed a cold beer from the fridge and sat out back. It was drizzling, just that soft, light kind of rain that usually makes things feel peaceful. Not tonight. My chest was full of static. The phone rang. I picked up. Her voice was warm, but tired. "I'm sorry you're going through this," Claire said softly. "I wouldn't wish it on anyone." "You too," I replied. "How long have you known?" She let out a breath. "A couple months." Saw a message pop up on his Apple Watch. Said Ash. He told me it was a client. Just being friendly. I wanted to believe him. Her voice cracked, then steadied. "Funny how we all feel it in our gut," I muttered. "We just pretend we don't." There was a pause. "You said your wife got pregnant?" "Yeah. Dates line up exactly with their gym sessions. And now she wants me to play daddy like this is some prize she's handing out." Claire let out a sharp exhale. God, these people. We went quiet. Just sat in our separate corners of this wreck, both of us ruined by the same circus act. "You said you were coming to town next week?" I asked. "I was. But after all this, I think I want to come sooner. I need to see your face. I need closure." That was when it hit me. What if we do it together? I said. You, me, them. Same room. No lies. No dodging. Just truth. She went quiet for a beat. Then, "I'm in." 2 days later, Claire flew in. We met at this little corner cafe downtown. Soon as she walked in, I recognized her. She was tall, sharp around the eyes, like someone who had aged too fast from carrying too much pain. We sat across from each other like detectives comparing case files. She begged me not to go public, Claire said, stirring her coffee. Told me she loved him. Said they had some kind of connection. Like I was just in the way of her perfect little fantasy. I clenched my jaw. Brittany said something real similar. Said she felt alive with him. Like her life together was choking her. Claire leaned in. "I want to see their faces when they realize it's over. For both of us." I nodded. And so we made a plan. Brittany thought she was meeting me to talk things out over dinner at her favorite Italian place. Travis thought Claire had forgiven him and wanted to reconnect. What they did not know was that we had reserved the back room. When they walked in, smiling, arm's length like they had won some prize, they saw us already sitting there, shoulder to shoulder. Claire did not say a word. Neither did I. We just watched them break apart. Travis dropped his arm from around Brittany. She stepped back like she'd seen a ghost. Then Claire stood. "So," she said, "who wants to start?" The silence was so thick you could hear the sound of their plans collapsing. Brittany's face twisted into panic. She turned to Travis, eyes wide and accusing. "You told me she moved out." Travis opened his mouth, but nothing came out. Just a slow-motion unraveling of lies. Claire calmly dropped a folder onto the table. Bank statements. Hotel bills. Text records. Footage from our garage camera. "You two are disgusting." Brittany looked at the folder like it might explode. I didn't mean for it to happen like this, she muttered. I let out a laugh, so loud the entire restaurant stopped. Oh yeah? What part exactly? When you asked me to drive you and your bastard baby to the man who knocked you up? Or when you were busy playing house with a roided-out Jim right behind my back? Travis finally found his voice. I didn't know she was married at first, man. Cut the crap, I snapped. You came to our house. You helped me carry the treadmill into the basement. I gave you a damn beer. Brittany stepped forward. Luke, please. I know I messed up, but we can fix this. I just had a baby, my hormones. Claire cut her off. You were very clear-headed for 9 straight months, sweetheart. Brittany turned on her. He said he was leaving you. He said he wanted to be with me. Travis whipped around. What? No, I didn't. I told you I was trying to fix things with Claire. Silence again. The kind that hits right before the whole tower falls. That was when I leaned forward. That child. Good luck putting Travis's name on the birth certificate. I signed a paternity waiver. You'll get 0 from me. Brittany blinked like her brain was trying to load a missing file. You can't do that. Claire grinned. Already done. Tears finally rolled down Brittany's cheeks. You ruined everything. No, I said, standing up. You did that. One lie at a time. Claire stood too. And Travis? I already talked to a lawyer. I'm keeping the house, the kids. You'll be lucky to get supervised weekends at a motel. Travis looked like a ghost in his own skin. I made a mistake. Claire's voice dropped to ice. No, you made a choice. Over and over. The silence that followed was the sound of 2 liars watching their fantasy catch fire. Brittany dropped into a chair, sobbing. Travis just stood there, stunned and broken. Claire and I looked at each other. And without a word, we walked out. Didn't even glance back. Outside, the rain had stopped. Claire took a breath. You know what's the worst part? She asked. I shook my head. They never even said sorry. And somehow, that made it feel more real than anything else. We were not broken anymore. We were just finally free. You know what no one ever tells you about betrayal? It does more than hurt. It scrambles your sense of direction. One day you're sure of the world. The next you're standing in the middle of your own life, wondering if any of it was real. That night, Brittany sent me 7 messages. The first one said, we need to talk. The second, I'm sorry. The third was a picture of the baby. The rest were just noise, guilt wrapped in excuses, desperation in disguise. I didn't reply to a single one. I poured a whiskey, sat down on the couch, and started flipping through old photos on my phone, vacations, cookouts, movie nights, smiles I used to think were real. It hit me that I'd spent years building something with someone who'd been planning her escape the whole damn time. Then the messages from mutual friends started coming in. Hey man, what happened? Brittany says you lost it at the hospital. Heard you, and some chick set her up at dinner? I ignored them. People love drama more than truth. Cheaters know that, too. They don't just betray you, they spin it. Play the victim. Cry on cue. I wasn't about to add to her act. The next day, a letter arrived from Travis's lawyer. Cease and desist. Distribution of defamatory content. I laughed out loud. That coward was trying to gag me. I called my lawyer. Can I respond? I asked. He grinned. You can do more than that. We hit back. Filed for emotional damages. Brought receipts, Brittany's false stories, the texts, the footage. I gave Claire full access for her own divorce filing, too. 2 days later, Travis's lawyer backed off. Claire called me, actually laughing. He's scared, she said. Like, really scared. He should be. Because I wasn't the same man anymore. I had stopped being the guy who forgives and forgets. I saw the truth, lived in it, and it changed me. I changed my phone number. Blocked Brittany from every corner of my life. Shut down the joint bank accounts. Canceled all her access. She had nowhere left to turn. And that is when she came to my front door. Tears in her eyes. Holding the baby. Looking like a ghost that just realized the living don't want her anymore. Luke, she said, voice cracking. Please. Just 5 minutes. I stepped outside and closed the door behind me. I gave you 6 years, I said. You used every minute to lie. She looked wrecked. Tired. But not sorry, just scared. Scared she'd lost her grip. Scared of losing the comfort. The status. You don't get it, she said. Travis left. He said it's too much pressure. I blinked. You mean the guy who fathered your child doesn't want to raise it? She said nothing. I stepped closer. Well, sounds like karma showed up early this year. She wiped her face. looked around like she expected someone to come rescue her. But no one did. You ruined my life, she whispered. No, I said, turning back toward the house. You just finally have to live in it. I shut the door. That silence on the other side? Loudest sound I ever heard. I just stood there, forehead resting against the wood, listening as her sobs slowly faded away. And as she walked off, I felt something strange settle over me. Not peace exactly, but something close. Like after a wreck, when the dust settles and all you can do is stand there, staring at what's left. My old life? It was gone. But for the first time, that did not scare me. I spent the next week cleaning out the house, not just physically, but mentally. I threw away every candle she bought, every fake note with a heart scribbled beside a lie. Even the wedding photo we took on that windy pier in South Carolina. All of it, gone. There were moments that hurt like hell. I found her earrings buried in the carpet. Found one of those prenatal books with her sticky notes still in it. Can't wait to feel the first kick. Reading that was like being stabbed by my own hope. Because I had believed her. Every word. Claire and I kept in touch now and then. Not romantic, just two folks pulling themselves out of the same fire. One day she messaged me something that stopped me cold. The worst part isn't losing them. It's realizing they never really existed the way you thought they did. She was right. Brittany wasn't who I thought she was. And I wasn't the man I had been, either. One night, I sat out back with a beer, watching the sky turn orange behind the trees. My phone buzzed. It was Stacy, Brittany's best friend. Hey. I just found out. I'm so sorry. That was a surprise. She lied to all of us, Stacy added. Told people you walked out while she was pregnant. Said you demanded a paternity test out of spite. I feel sick? I replied, she used you too. You were just another pawn. Stacy asked if I was okay. And honestly, I was. Not healed. Not whole. But better. I wasn't looking at her social media anymore. Wasn't letting those hospital memories gut me every morning. I was starting to breathe again. Then came a letter. Not a text. Not an email. A handwritten letter in some floral envelope. 3 pages. Front and back. All from Brittany. She wrote about how sorry she was. How she lost herself during the pregnancy. How Travis turned out to be nothing like she imagined. How she would give anything to go back. She ended it with, even if you can't forgive me, I need you to know, you were the best part of my life. I folded the letter, placed it in a drawer, and left it there. Didn't respond. Because forgiveness doesn't always come with a reply. Sometimes it shows up in silence. 2 weeks later, Claire sent me a text. Just signed the divorce. Did it in front of him? He cried. I didn't. I smiled. Proud of you. Freedom looks good on us. And it did. For the first time in years, I was not just getting by. I was starting over. That Sunday, I walked into the gym again. The same gym where Brittany first met Travis. The same gym where I paid for her private sessions while I worked overtime just to make sure we had a future. I stood in the locker room, looking at my reflection in the mirror. It was still my face. But the eyes? They had seen some things. Not the kind of war with bullets, but betrayal. And let me tell you, that kind of wound does not show on your skin, but it guts you all the same. Still, I was standing. I walked into that weight room like a man returning to the scene of a car crash. Not to relive it, not for revenge, just to take back the piece of myself I left behind. This place didn't belong to them. That affair, that baby, that mess, it did not get to own my peace. I did. I did not plan to run into anyone that day. But life, as always, has a sick sense of humor. He was there. Travis. No clipboard this time. No swagger. Just sweat-drenched sleeves and a face that looked like it had not known sleep in days. He saw me the moment I stepped through the door. I braced myself for the usual, and avoiding eye contact, maybe pretending he did not see me. But no. He walked up slowly, like a man heading toward his own eulogy. Luke, he said, voice barely above a whisper. Look, I know nothing I say is going to mean much right now, but... I cut him off. Good. Then do not say a damn thing. He froze, mouth halfway open, unsure whether to speak or shut up. I stepped in close, not threatening, just honest. I don't want your apology. I don't need your closure. I don't even care about your guilt. I just want you to understand one thing. I looked him dead in the eye. I see you now. Not the trainer. Not the charming buddy from the gym. Just another coward who couldn't keep it zipped. He did not argue. He just stood there, staring at the floor like he finally understood the weight of what he'd done. I hope your next life is better, I said. Because this one? You set it on fire. And with that, I walked past him, picked up a barbell, and started lifting. He did not follow. Over the next few months, I kept building myself back up. No big dramatic makeover. Just slow, solid changes that stacked one on top of the next. I joined a book club, never thought I'd enjoy it, but it felt good to be surrounded by stories that were not mine. Started journaling again. Took a solo trip to Vermont, where I stood on a mountain cliff and screamed so hard my throat went raw. It felt like I dumped a decade's worth of pain into the trees. I kept going to therapy, pushing through the nights where I wanted to rip the walls down, nights when the memories played like a bad movie I never asked to watch. And slowly, that poison started to leave my system. I met new people, not to fill a hole, but because I finally had space in my life for something real. People with no agenda, no lies behind their smiles. Claire and I stayed in touch from time to time. We were not anything romantic, just two folks who knew what the fire felt like and still found the courage to keep walking. She sent me a message one morning, started painting. It's a mess. I love it. I told her about the trip, about yelling into the woods and how I felt like I left something dark up there, hanging in the air, like smoke that would never follow me home. Sounds like healing, she replied. You deserve that. She was right. But healing's not always pretty. Some nights, I still woke up angry. Still dreamed about that damn hospital room. Still had flashes of what life might have looked like if she had chosen loyalty over lust. But those thoughts? They didn't own me anymore. They visited. I just stopped setting a place for them at the table. 1 year to the day after the divorce was finalized, I got a text from a number I did not recognize. He's not coming to visit anymore. I don't know what to tell her when she asks where her daddy is. It was Brittany. I stared at that message for a long time. Read it again. And again. Then I deleted it. Because I finally understood something. I wasn't her savior. I wasn't her fallback. And I sure as hell was not about to raise another man's child because she ran out of options. I was free. And the hardest part of all this? It wasn't leaving. It was staying gone. So if I could pass one thing on for anyone reading this, anyone who's been through the kind of betrayal that burns down your whole world, it's this. Pay attention to your gut. Watch the small lies. The quiet shifts. The 2 a.m. phone flips and the kisses that feel hollow. Those aren't just red flags. They're sirens. Do not ignore them. And when your heart gets shattered by someone you thought you knew, do not just get back up, rise different. Rise stronger. Rise wiser. Because yeah, love is real. But so is deception. And the only thing worth chasing at the end of the day is truth. I let go of her. And I found myself.